Cash, and welcome back to Cash Talks Football, where we break down all the goals scored in the Premier League. And today we're doing Manchester City against Fulham, and Fulham could have easily have won this game if Traore had a little bit more composure in finishing. Because I'll tell you what, I want to show you the rate he had. Kyle Walker's for pace. It was quite entertaining, and City were against the ropes if Traore just had that composure. But I suppose that's the reason why he's not in the top tier of players, because if he did, everybody in the world would be after this kiddie. Right now, I'm going to show you this little 1v1 here. Then we're going to get into the goals, because there's a lot of little 1v1s and a lot of little finishes. And I want to show you all of them to show you how much, Fulham could have been way ahead in this game. They really could have. The fact that they pushed Man City to the end was very, very decent of them, to be fair. And I think they're going to be one of those teams that people are going to underestimate. I think Palace and Fulham are kind of switching places in the Premier League of which team is the one that you need to watch out for. So look, just here, coming on 1v1s, battled away. This is straight from a corner, from Man City's corner. They've come right down the other end of Fulham. And we'll come to the finish, and he just whiffs it. He just whiffs it. The keeper sits the keeper down, looks one way, but manages to blast it into the keeper's legs. Any little bit of composure there, and he does get himself a goal. I'll give him some credit, though. He does have a little look. I've watched this little replays a couple of times. He does actually look to sit the keeper down. He does try to do the right things. He just doesn't have the ability to finish it off right at the end. But let's get into these goals. Here, we're going to highlight the absolute brilliance of a good player. Right, this is what happens. Ball gets flicked into the little corner here, and City look like they're defending quite well. And from the outside point of view, you go, yeah, okay. From my point, yeah, okay, we're happy. We've got someone body on a body there. It's very difficult for him to get the ball anywhere because he's facing this way. It's a bouncing ball. There's not much he can really do. We've got cover here. We're actually looking okay. We're looking pretty solid. But then you know what happens? Someone do brilliant English Cash. Someone does something that's brilliant, and that's exactly what this wee chap does. Here he is, surrounded by two defenders, nowhere to go. Little bouncing ball, and he backheels it over everybody. Just perfect delivery. Right here, keeper's in no man's land. Everyone's caught unawares, and it just gets poked in right in the middle of the goal. Little quality finish, donk. There we go, and up Fulham go. It's all about that brilliance in the back heel. Let's look at it from another angle. Here we are, other angle, gives it the quality that it's due. Flick over everybody, absolutely brilliant. And that's the difference when you have some creative play. And people go, oh, it's not that impressive. I get what you're saying, but you're drilled so often in football not to do these things, to keep it safe, do this, play the way you're facing, pass to your teammate, and you don't see much of that nowadays. The actual creativity of a player trying something special, because you always get, when it doesn't come off, you always get berated. Those players always get slammed, but they're trying to do something special magic and it doesn't work. So I'm glad someone does something special magic and it does come off and we can all appreciate it. Let's get on to the next goal. I'm going to show you this because it's another Traore miss here at the back stick. But it's a little bit more than that, because this guy's first touch when the ball comes in, it isn't good enough. You can see it. If this ball just moved across straight away, well, to be honest, he should have finished it anyway. But it gives him more of an opportunity because it gives him more space between him and the goal to make a decision which way he wants to go. Watch this first touch here, though. Kind of goes backwards, gets caught in his feet, doesn't really know what to do, but he ends up getting it over here just because that first touch is taking him away from goal instead of towards it. Yeah, not very good. However, does end up getting the pass off, a little spin move, knocks it over, but the fluidity of the movement slows down. So the opportunity to tap it into the net box, and look, you're right here. All you got to do is put it into that far corner there. Just pass it in. Don't even have to shoot it. Just pass it in ever so gently. And he doesn't. He blasts it over the bar, and that's two opportunities he's missed already. This could have already put Fulham away and just, done with Man City and on to the next game already, but they didn't do it. Okay, right now we've got a corner coming in against the Fulham. And I'm going to say it again. I'm going to say it a million times. If you want to defend, you have to defend the D at the top of the box. The D's very important. If you don't defend the D, you will have goals scored against you. If you want to score goals, stand in this position up here, because the ball will drop and you can have just strikes at goal all day long. It's such an easy place to defend. You just stand here and get rid of the ball. And the ball is a magnet. Guess why? This is the middle of the field. When people defend and knock it down, it drops here. When the keeper knocks it, it drops here. Everything drops into the middle of the field. So if you want to score goals, this is the place to stand. If you want to defend it, this is the place you defend. Otherwise, things like this happen. As we move this forward, ball gets knocked out. It's the first one to it. Got to pressure the ball. And of course, Kovacic is the first one there. And he just smashes it at the goal. gets a little deflection and goes in. But it all comes down to no one picking up the D and defending it right up here at the top of the box in the first place, which has to be done. Has to be done. Gets his little hit, and it's in the back of the net. Yeah, great, there are loads of bodies back here to defend the cross. 1, 2, 3, 4. One of you could have been here, and that isn't a goal, and on you move. Now we're going to watch a very similar goal happen, the exact same type of thing, where you can see Fulham, when you push them back, because this was done at pace, Phil Foden's running down, he puts in a delivery, not necessarily a good one, but what he has managed to do is make everybody from Fulham come back and defend. So that pushes their defensive line back and their midfield line. So guess what happens? Someone's in the D, and that's where they end up scoring from. Exactly the same again. You always have, what I always do when I'm coaching, I always have a midfielder, and that's their responsibility. They just defend that D, and anytime they go back, they don't worry, because what you end up happening is you have your 2 centre-backs, and then you have one of your midfielders up here. So this is the point of outlet. From your left back or your right back, when you win the ball, they can go to this player and get rid of it. But this player is always covering this area here. And I don't necessarily mean they're standing right in the middle. Don't think of it like that. They're fluid. So when the ball is on this side, they're on this side of it. When the ball goes onto that side, they track onto that side. So they can always track back to the middle. Depending on where the ball is, they can flow and just track along this area here. They don't get involved down here. We let the other midfielder do that, or the other flank players come back and deal with it. If you don't do that, you get so opened up by things like, and when that cross lands, you can see how exposed the centre midfield is right here, and he's just running in, just smashing it in the goal again. Now, this is what happens when you score a goal from a certain position. You just keep trying to do it. If you watch a lot of strikers from Saka, Mo Salah, and Marcus Rashford, they score in the same areas because they're used to scoring from those places, and it gives them confidence. He's just scored from being in the middle of the field, so he just runs up and takes his chances again, gets his reward, knocks it down, and he just hits it into the net box. Bosh. There we go. Gets himself another goal. He didn't use sound effects. There is a rule in the Premier League. If you kick it in a goal and you make sound effects, you get 2 goals. They just don't understand this. All right, let's get on to the next goal. Just want to show you this. This is the start of the foot race with Traore behind Kyle Walker. Watch, because obviously I can't show you all of it in one fluid motion because I will get a copyright slap from the Premier League, just like I was every other game last season. But I'm getting better. Let's just watch how fast this guy is because he outpaces Kyle Walker, who's supposed to be the fastest guy in the Premier League. And if Kyle Walker loses his pace, he's going to have to struggle with his game because he's relied on that for an awful long time in recovery runs. But let's just move this forward and show you what happens. Yeah, in the space of about 30, 40 yards, Walker's been beat. Not only has he been beat, this guy's off to the races again to get himself a goal. No, he's not going to get himself a goal. If he finished the chances, he would have had a hat-trick this game easily. He just needs to learn to understand the difference of his explosion and then relax, finish. If he just learns to relax and finish, he'd be a great player. But again, people have been saying about him for about the last 5 years. Of course, remember, he's got the ball now, so Walker can actually try to get back if he's fast enough. He's just not fast enough. Don't worry. Here's the point to relax and finish, and he kicks it straight at the keeper. So you don't have to worry about it whatsoever. But there we go. Let's get on to the next goal. Obviously, Fulham are pushing forward, trying to get themselves back into this game as it's 2-1 to Manchester City. But look at that gap there. You can see that space. It's Doku. You know he's going to try to beat you in there. This guy doesn't have to mark anybody here. He can switch over 5 yards. He can come over 5 yards. And he can, well, it doesn't matter because he's too far away. So he has to come over and try to help this guy here because he's 1v1 with one of the trickiest players in the Premier League. And you don't want to let him on the inside to take a shot. And he does really, really easily. Comes inside, boom, and just lets it rip. There we go. Do you see that? Right, let's just back that up ever so slightly. That run right there pulls that centre back. As he makes that run, he goes with it, opens up that corridor of space for him to have a shot. Now, his shot as well is very interesting because I don't think it swerves. I think the keeper's just completely oblivious to it. I'm going to show you the angle when it goes in the back of the net from the keeper, and it looks like it's going straight at him and maybe dips to the side. I just don't think it does. See, what I think happens is the keeper moves to the side, and as the keeper moves to the side, it makes it look like the ball moves, but it doesn't. The goalkeeper moves. Watch this. As he moves, he goes that way, and the ball just kind of goes straight, and it looks like he's getting done by some bend on the ball, but he's not. The keeper's just gone the wrong way, and then the ball goes straight past him where he was stood in the first place. I think the keeper's done himself. The ball hasn't moved. Yeah, but there we go. Let's get on to the last goal. to be fair, this from the Man City point of view, this is poor. This is a Carl Walker mistake. I think that's Carl Walker at this point, right back. Okay, so as a defender, you're defending what's in front of you, not what's behind you, unless you're called to. And you can step back and defend it. So he's defending that player in front of him. It's his responsibility. He's too far away from him. Miles and miles too far away from him. When this little ball comes across here, I mean, this is a simple goal. Ball comes across. He's already backed up and let him be completely free inside of the 18-yard box, which is just shocking. Just turns, hits it into the net box, gets himself an easy goal. Turns, hits it into the net box. Yeah, if Traore finished as good as that, Fulham would have won this game. Man City are still on the up, doing what they do, but watch out for Fulham. They're a dangerous team. Other than that, I'll see you next time on Cash Talks Football.